Hey, everyone. Welcome. It's Lisa Jimenez here, and you are here for Fearless Fridays with Lisa, and we have a phenomenal guest for you today, and her name is Alyssa Favreau. Hi, Alyssa. Welcome.
Hello. This is so much fun, Lisa. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is great.
I'm thrilled for the breakthrough that our viewers and listeners are going to hear from your story. And there's two things I want to jump into. But first and foremost, I want to hear, what was it like for you to create your own success? Because we all know Denny Robinson is your mom, and she's iconic in network marketing for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just love it that you acknowledged her so much at the Women's GoPro. We were both on the Rising Star panel, which was such a privilege to get to meet you finally in person there. But I want to talk about, what were your fears of partnering with your mom? What was your fears around creating your own brand, your own independence with such a strong woman as your mother? And what was your process to break through that fear?
Oh, I love that. That's such a good question. Well,
we're going deep, girl. We're getting right to it.
And I think it's such a great, it's been such a great learning experience for me. So it was, and you know, it's been a process for sure. So my mom has been in network marketing for over 25 years or so, right around 25 years. So she's been doing this for a long time, and I've seen it. I've watched it, and so it wasn't until about 3 years ago that I decided to partner with her and really decide to link arms with her. But what's funny too is that I tried to not link arms with her in the very beginning, and I'll kind of dive into that a little bit, but it took me a long time to go through my own journey. So I went to college. I got a job in corporate America. I was kind of going about that route. But at the same time, I saw all of the potential that there was in working with my mom. And I kept on feeling that pull towards that. And I felt that there was a contribution that I could make personally to what she had already created in partnering with her. But I'll have to be honest, in the very beginning, it was, I kind of tried to do everything just on my own without using any of her. And so I was trying to do all of these things on my own. And without using her knowledge, without using her expertise. And so it was probably until about, for the first probably 6 months to 8 months, that I tried to do it on my own. And I failed a lot, and I didn't do everything the way that I should have. And so it kind of just became this point of acknowledging the incredible woman that my mother was, and the willingness to lean on her in her own expertise, so that I could become everything that I am, because there is a reason why she is my mother, and there is a reason why I am her daughter, and there are things that we could learn and a way that we could grow together in a way that we could never grow on our own.
Yes.
And so it was really in just acknowledging the powerful woman that she was, and kind of owning just how proud I am to have such a powerful woman as a mother, and that she can be powerful and I can be powerful, and but it can be different, and it can also complement each other. And so it's been this really fun little dance with my mom over the last 3 years. And I'm so grateful for the journey. It's been, it's never easy, but it's the willingness to learn along the way, and the willingness to look at it from a different point of view that has really enabled me to link arms with her completely and just enjoy every moment that we have together.
Oh, I love that. So I'm hearing two main pieces here for our viewers and listeners. First, and this is kind of a conversation in metaphysics, that there was enough power on this planet. There's enough for a Denny Robinson, and there's enough for an Alyssa as well. And you know what? That is powerful, Alyssa, because a lot of people, they see, their friend has love and a great marriage, and success in business, and then they think, oh, I can't, there's not enough to go around. Or even with their money, they get stingy with their money, like there's not enough money, there's not enough love, there's not enough success. And in your case, is there enough power for two powerful women? Yes, there is. Then I'm hearing another piece. You have a broader vision, it sounds like, and this is a heart conversation. You have a broader vision than just you and your life. It sounded to me like you said there was a reason I had a mom this powerful, and there's a reason I'm her daughter. Are you speaking esoterically, like you have a calling?
Yeah, absolutely. I completely think that we do. And I think that sometimes I think that we have, however you choose to believe, we made an agreement before we're here. Yes. Because there is like the chances that she is my mom. I mean, I am a true believer that there is no coincidences in life, and that everything happens exactly when it needs to happen, exactly the reason why it needs to happen. And so there is, my mom and I made this agreement, I think, before we came here, that we would help each other grow in ways that we could not grow alone.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And you and your mom are the reason that I'm in business with my daughter, Ariana Jimenez. Now, Alyssa knows this story. She's part of the team. So what we did 2 years ago at Eric and Marina's event is they spoke on stage, and I met them for the first time. So Denny spoke on stage, and she spoke about her daughter, Alyssa. And for the first time, I came, and it just so happened, serendipitously or metaphysically, I'm sitting next to Denny at lunch. And I looked at Denny, and I just met her 2 years ago, and I said, Denny, I want what you have. I want my Ariana to be in business with me. And I didn't know you, Alyssa. I didn't really even know your mom. And she said, well, my daughter's coming over here for lunch in a few minutes. Let's take a picture, the three of us. And so we did. And I put my arm out like Ariana's right there. And that was the intention that the three of us set. And we're not even in the same company, but you guys loved on me enough to say, we are creating this intention. So I called my daughter and shared that vision with her and that intention, and told her all about you and all about Denny. And she said to me, Mom, I'm not you. And I don't have what you have. And she was saying, but I'm willing to learn what you've learned. And I'm willing to find my own place in the business process, in the business success. And I thought, wow, she's so wise. So you gals, your generation, you're Ariana's age, you gals are so wise. So it didn't sound like you had a lot of fear, Alyssa. Was there no fear, or were you pretty set?
I love what you said about your daughter, where she said, I am not you, right? I don't have all of the same qualities and traits. And of course, then we think that those are the traits, those exact traits that we don't think we have are the ones that made you successful. But I think it's more that you came into your own. And so you're giving other people permission to then come into their own greatness, right? And so I think that is the understanding that I had to come to in order to really move forward and accept who I am completely. It's exactly who I need to be, and I don't need to be anyone else to be successful.
Beautiful, beautiful. And there's enough. There's more than enough power, more than enough team members, more than enough time, more than enough space. Because a lot of times people will look at our team page or your team page or other success stories in network market on Facebook, and they're like, oh, they can do it, but I can't. And let's really create for our listeners and our viewers that you've got to stop that conversation, you guys. Stop being jealous. Jealousy is so unattractive, and jealousy is hurting you. Jealousy is actually keeping you from success. Even if you don't share that jealousy, the jealousy exists in your heart and in your mind. You need to retrain your brain so that when you see an Alyssa success, a Denny success, an Ariana success, you're saying, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. That's the vision for me. I see success, I'm going to duplicate success. I love success. I love to see people happy. I love to see people successful. And so that these stories, your success, Denny's success, can actually create a motivation for others, and that's a mindset, isn't it, Alyssa? It's a choice.
It's a choice. And
can you speak on that a little bit?
And I love that you point out, you know, that to never be jealous or to never compare yourself to another person. Another person is only there to reflect back to you what your desires are and what your possibilities are.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And so, but I also think that comparison, we compare to who we are right now, and we don't compare what our journey has been in the past, what it took to get there. And so, you know, Lisa, you're an incredible person, but I don't think that you became who you are overnight. Yeah. And no one became who they are overnight. And so it's just respecting that journey and respecting to embrace that fear, right? And that it's going to be there. And you know what, one of my favorite things that I recite to myself over and over again is that fear and excitement create the same chemical reaction in your brain. Beautiful. And it's our choice which we choose to experience at any given time. And it's acknowledging that emotion is there and that we can choose something different. We can choose to experience the excitement, that we get to learn something new, that we get to experience this new phase of growth. And once you start to shift into that mindset, you almost, you know, you get used to it. It never gets easy, but I think you get a little bit more used to it, and you're able to just be aware whenever that emotion or that chemical reaction happens, and you say, do I choose fear or do I choose excitement?
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well said, Alyssa. Beautiful. And the word you keep saying over and over is you were willing, and you're still willing, like the willingness. So let's preach it. Like, you got to be willing. It's a willingness to expand. It's a willingness to learn. It's a willingness to mess up and get better and better and better. It's a willingness. So definitely you had that example in Denny, your mom. But you are just that, because we were in the green room before we got on stage, and it was so adorable to make that connection with you and all the other gals that were on the Rising Star panel. It was an instant bond because we were all feeling the fear. We were feeling the fear. It was so cute. And yet we just all held hands and said, all right, we're going to go out there. We're going to share our story with power and grace and beauty, and we're going to make a difference. And this is the language, how you were just speaking. Fear and excitement is the same chemical reaction in the brain, but you got to speak the words instead of saying, oh, I'm so fearful, or oh, I'm so afraid, or oh my God. You know, no, wait, I'm here to serve. So what are some of your mantras when fear starts coming up and you're shifting it to excitement? What are some words that you tell yourself? What are some mantras that you speak that retrain your brain around fear?
I'm willing to see this differently. Whenever I experience that fear, and if I can, I say these things out loud, because when you can speak something out loud, all of a sudden it's almost like this washing over your body, where you recognize what is going on in your mind and you speak it out loud. So if I can, I say, I'm willing to see this differently. I'm willing to see the excitement in this experience. But I mean, one of my, I have a couple that I really love. One of them is that I'm born to succeed and I'm born to win, and the infinite within me can't fail. And I've loved that one for a really long time.
I'm born to win, I'm born to succeed, and the infinite in me cannot fail.
Yeah. So and all of a sudden, then I recognize that every moment is a learning experience, an opportunity to continue to grow, and whatever happens, whatever the outcome is, as long as I am there experiencing it, that's all I need to do.
Beautiful. Love it. Beautiful. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about your husband, David.
I love him.
And specifically your marriage. I love what you posted on Facebook. You guys, you got to follow Alyssa. She just has such great posts and avid fitness. Are you actually a fitness instructor too? Was that you at the front of the room leading that fitness class?
Yeah, so that's what I've done. I've been a fitness instructor since I was 18 years old.
Man.
I started teaching water aerobics. So I taught a wide range, Zumba, everything. So yeah.
Fantastic. You are in phenomenal shape, girl. Woo! Impressive. All right, so let's talk about David in your marriage, because there's a lot of people listening today that have a belief, a core belief, that you can't have both. You can either have a really successful multi-million-dollar status career and make a difference here, or you can have a successful marriage. You can't have both. I was one of those people, Alyssa, that believed that. I didn't know you could have both. I never saw it modeled to me. And so when I chose the road of business, I really let my marriage go. It was the reason why I got a divorce. A big part of my husband leaving me was me. I wasn't there. I wasn't showing up fully. And I see that now, 13 and a half years later, but I didn't have the belief that I could have both. I thought I didn't know. So could you share with us, how are you building that belief that you can have both a successful, phenomenal, juicy, delicious marriage with David and a kick-ass global business?
Yeah. Well, it's certainly a process that takes a lot of effort. I would say that it's in anything that you choose to pursue, be willing to put in the work in order to achieve that, and that it never it always takes a lot of work. And so, but something that I have recognized that I am so grateful for, that recognition, is that when I decided to build my own business, I don't even know if I consciously did this, but what I was doing was, anytime I would read a personal development book, anytime that I would have an idea of a way to expand my business, I would talk to my husband about it. And I would share some of the things that I was learning, and this is what I'm going to implement. And my husband knew he still does to this day. He knows every single person's name on my team.
Oh my gosh.
He knows, he's been to every single conference. And so I'm just so grateful that at such an early stage, he was such a huge part of what can we create together? Not what can I create personally, but what are we going to create together? And what was even more exciting was, as I was sharing those personal development stories and that journey, and I tried as much to just let him explore his own journey as well. My husband doesn't build a business with me, but I let him explore his own journey. And I have to remind myself of that, but to just respect his journey as well. But what's amazing is that then he would come back to me and tell me the different personal development books that he was reading and the different ideas that he had. And so it's just been this really fun journey that we're on these different paths as far as business might go, but it's as if I take a step and then he takes a step, and then he takes a step and I take a step. And the entire way we're both at the same point, but it's a different path. And it's just respecting that path, respecting that journey, respecting what the other person is going through, but sharing the journey.
I love that. I love that. And I think too, you had the vision for so many years growing up that a woman could have both. But let's really think about the woman who doesn't have that vision, because it sounds like David was on track and on board right away, or was he not at the beginning?
He was.
When you partnered with him?
Yeah,
he was.
He has been my biggest support, for sure.
That's amazing. You are so richly blessed, girl. So what your job is to do is what you're doing is to cultivate that. So you're cultivating it. What about the gal or the guy who they're not even starting there. They're starting below zero. They have a -2 spouse. They're not even on neutral point. Maybe what I'm hearing you saying is maybe we could just, the husband and wife could find something that's alike, like you found personal development with David to share this, and it had nothing to do with network marketing, had nothing to do with his career. It was that unified conversation around personal development. So could that be one of the ideas? And what else? Like, how do we shift our listeners' mindset that they can have both? They can. And if they don't believe they can, they'll never create it. They will continue to say, oh, but my husband's unsupportive. My wife thinks I'm crazy. She wants nothing to do with this. The more you're speaking that, my friend, the more you're creating that. You will never get what you want when you constantly say, my husband's unsupportive. That's it. End of discussion. You've closed the book for any possibility. Stop doing that. Yeah. So what are some of the mantras, Alyssa, that you and I can create to help our listeners retrain their brain to believe they can have both?
So a point that I want to make is that, and I think that applies to both your marriage and to your business. If you are ever forcing someone to do something, then they will resist just as much as you try to force. So that was displayed to me with my mother, who would have loved to have me join her in business, 10 years ago, but she respected my journey. And she said, here's what I'm doing. I would love to share the journey with you as I'm going along, but I completely and totally respect your journey. I just want to share it with you. I just want to share whatever is happening in my journey with you so that we can go together. It doesn't matter where you go, but I just want to go there together.
Oh, wow.
And so that was displayed to me. And so then I've been able to, just respect the journey, respect whoever it is that you have chosen a relationship with, because they are there for a reason. They are there to teach you something. You are there to teach them something. And so whatever it is, wherever they are right now is exactly where they need to be, because where you are is where you need to be. And so as you grow, it is amazing how the people around you change completely and totally. My husband is a different person from the man that I married 4 years ago. And it has been, and I'm also a different person over the course of the last couple of years in this business. But it wouldn't have been that way if I had not respected that journey of his, but also been so determined for my own journey that I was going to have an impact on the world and make a difference in people's lives. Yeah. And so there was nothing that was going to stop me, but I had to respect everyone else's journey along the way.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love it. I know that we just changed some lives right here with that share. Thank you, Alyssa. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And then in closing, I want you to share, do you have any call to action for our listeners? I know that you have such a big vision, and big vision casting is so important for the individual, not just because of what they're out there creating and sharing with the world and sharing with possibility, but in retraining their own brain that it's possible. So you are a global builder, right?
Yeah.
You've opened in several countries. Yeah. Do you have any kind of closing thoughts for that gal, that guy who he's creating, he's successful, but he's got to get to the next level. He's got to go global. He's got to go, I don't know, bigger, raise his standards, raise her vision. Just could you give a share, maybe from your own life experience, a story, and then a call to action of how do we grow our vision, grow our dream?
So probably the biggest thing that I have tried to implement is that I try now to not read another book, listen to another podcast, watch another live video without implementing something, without doing something about it. I think that we're such consumers, and we all know enough. We all are perfect exactly how we are to take the next step. And that there is this fun dance that we get to do where we learn something, and the best way to learn it is then to implement it and try it and just do it. And if it looks messy, then that's okay. And if you fail, that's okay. You're learning along the way. You know enough, you are enough right now to have everything that you want to have. But it's just that you have to take the next step. You don't have to know what it all is going to look like in the end. But I think if you take one step, the next step is revealed, and then the next step, and then the next step. So my biggest encouragement is that you know enough to do the next step.
Beautiful. You know enough. You are enough. I love it. Well, I hope that our paths cross again very soon, my sweet Alyssa. Thank you so much for sharing this time with us on Fearless Fridays. Love you, girl.
Love you.
Bye, listeners. Thank you. Make it a great Friday. And we're out. Thank you, girl. Oh, wow. You're so good. I love your shares and I love your example. Thank you for who you are.
I love your spirit, Lisa. You are just amazing. Your heart is just incredible. So I love being connected. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. I'll chat with you soon.
All right.
Bye. Thanks.